All
We
right.
are now nearing the halfway point of the game.
Yes.
And the halfway point of our playthrough.
Mm-hmm.
As so one would think, but that's a bit of a long story. No pun intended.
Prize zone.
So, okay, so Sheroid, Dwibs, how do you feel the story has progressed so far, since we are near essentially the halfway
Um,
point of our playthrough?
The story
Not a
is
lot has happened, I'm gonna be honest.
wait. What, Jova, what is this progression you say?
yeah, that's exactly the problem. Good job, Dwips. See, however, I can't ever tell you this. Starting next part, that's one thing I'll give the Abbey campaign over this one. There's way more narrative momentum in Abby's campaign. Again, preference much. It's because as we've seen before, it lasts. The plot only moves forward an inch every 5 hours in this campaign because, as we've talked about, and Shiro even said, very little has happened, and not even in terms of plot progression. In terms of character development, very little actually happens in this campaign. We're just expected to be invested, even though there's no narrative momentum whatsoever. Like there's detours with before we even get to Nora. There's two people that we're looking for that end up being dead, and therefore end up being just a waste of our time. It's like Neil wanted to make a game about Abby, and that's it. But he knew he had to put Ellie in and Joel to some extent, so otherwise they wouldn't allow him to make it into a Last of Us game. So fine. All right.
Not only that, but is it
All right,
just...
hold on.
Oh, wait, hold on. Read this one first.
Kazakh Bright. Okay. 100 brains, 40 brawn. So this is one of the smart ones. Okay. Affiliation with Spark. Orphaned by the Civil War on Titan.
Oh my god, he was born on Titan?
Apparently.
He's from Thanos' planet.
Young Kazakh Bright vowed revenge on the Future Alliance, whom he held responsible for initiating the conflict. Growing up to become a renowned communication engineer for Spark Century 22, he developed quantum signaling technology that allowed her instant communication across vast distances. Though it gave Spark an advantage, they still suffered defeat after against the Future Alliance. Boosting his quantum communicator to reach far beyond our star system, Kazakh now tries to contact someone or something capable of helping him seek his revenge. Neutral villain.
Neutral villain. Again, I'm not quite sure what neutral hero or neutral villain means in this concept.
Neutral villain means they're evil, but they're not evil any side.
Well, it says that he's against the Future Alliance. So maybe what it means is that he's against the Future Alliance in general, but he doesn't have a specific protagonist that he's after.
That sounds more like he's an anti-villain then. I mean, maybe that's what neutral hero or neutral villain means in this context. It feels weird though. But yeah, he's literally from Titan. That's Thanos' home world.
Well, here I'll put it like this, Jova. Like from the context that these cards are giving us, I'm assuming Neil and Haley would probably call Thanos a neutral villain in the sense that he's the antagonist, but he's not after anything evil per se. It's not
his whole shtick in the MCU is literally balance. So yeah, I guess he would.
From his perspective, that's kind of the whole great thing about great villains. From their perspective, they're the ones who are in the right, and the heroes are in the wrong. Same thing with Nolan's Joker. Where he flat out tells Batman, actually, no, I'm not a monster. I'm just ahead of the curve. That's how most compelling villains tend to be. They think they're the ones who are right and that the heroes are just deluded. It's the whole everybody's the hero of their own story type of thing. So my guess is neutral villain for Thanos means in the sense that he's not after a specific hero. He just wants balance, like you said, or even if you go to comic Thanos. Comic Thanos wants to destroy the whole universe to impress Steph. Yes, just roll with it, guys.
No, I'm aware.
He wants to impress Steph by destroying the whole universe, but that's it. But technically, he's not like. So let's compare him with, say, for example, Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor specifically wants to destroy Superman because Superman is a threat to his primary goal.
And his ego.
Yeah, not just ego. Yeah, the ego thing is too. Yeah, but he wants to kill Superman specifically because Superman is a threat to everything he wants, his empire over Metropolis. You know, so Lex is definitely a straight up villain, not neutral in any way. Maybe that's what they're saying, Jova. I'm completely guessing here, but that's what I think they're trying to get across.
I think, okay, now granted, I won't raise too much a complaint about it, but I do feel like, for something with, an unknown term in the grand scheme of things, it may have helped if, they provided something of, a key legend or whatnot for these cards. I mean, granted, I remind you, it's not the worst thing whatsoever, and like I said, I'm actually more interested in the world of these superheroes than the actual game that we're commentating on. It's just a weird thing to do, I feel, that's all. That's it, though. It's a pretty good theory you made there, though. But yeah, like I said, apparently that guy literally comes from Thanos' homeworld of Titan. So what, did he and Thanos go to college together?
Apparently, yeah.
And before you asked, yes, Thanos did in fact go to a sort of college in his childhood. It's
I wonder if
sort of where
I wonder if it was the same school he met Cable at, considering what's going on in the film universe right now.
Don't you see that the hardest choices require the strongest of wills?
Well, I mean, hey, Jova, yeah, that could be one way to keep Josh Brolin in employment at the MCU. Just have him play Cable.
Well, actually, remember, Dwebs, he's already been confirmed to be appearing in the What If series. So we're probably going to get a We're probably going. Well, remember, Joe, they showed the pictures of all the actors returning, and Josh Brolin is one of.
But is he playing? Is he playing Thanos or Cable?
Well, I'm assuming Thanos, considering that's what he's popular for in the MCU. So my guess is they're going to do a What If Thanos 1 story, most likely.
Anyway, I hate to do it, but let me bring back topic to the video game, I guess. Like, is it just me, or does this game seem a lot more fond of taking detours than the first Last of Us game did? Like, okay, for instance...
I said, Jova, it's abundantly clear that this Ellie campaign is just padding before we get to the campaign that Neil actually wants us to play.
This is what I was referring to when Pedro asked us that question at the beginning of the part. It's like, not much has happened. Like, not much has happened at all in this part.
Don't worry, Shiroi.
We've been detouring for the majority of it.
Don't worry, Shiroi. You'll get... After this part, we'll get to the campaign that Neil really works really hard on. So
this was half a game of prologue.
And
this is not to mention, like I've said, Shiroi, it's the most boring porno I've ever seen.
Calling it a game of prologue is generous. Like, at least with a prologue, at least I got something out of Kingdom Hearts 2's prologue compared to this.
Oh, Jova, or even better, Jova, how about in Beyond Two Souls where the prologue is at the end of the timeline?
Oh my god.
Wasn't the only issue with Kingdom Hearts 2's prologue is how long it lasted?
It was long. However, it was long for a specific reason. Basically, the idea behind the Kingdom Hearts 2 prologue is that there's an entire new there's an entire new important character, Dwebs, that needs to be established because he's incredibly important, and trust me, unlike Abby, he actually is, for the story of the game in general, and even for future games in particular. So Nomura make a specific decision to take advantage of what Japanese storytellers do best: slow burn, character-driven storytelling, where you just see the characters just being themselves. Like it's literally Dwebs kids having their summer vacation, where they plan what they want to do. They plan on going to the beach. They play games. They even get some summer jobs to get some money for the train. It's that kind of slow burn character development that Japanese writers do great. Unfortunately, of course, that's not the problem with Dwebs is that not a lot of people were expecting it because not a lot of people played Chain of Memories before they played Kingdom Hearts, so it kind of came a bit out of nowhere.
That was the one on GBA, wasn't it?
Yeah, fortunately now with the HD collections, that's no longer a problem because when you boot up the PS4 and PS3 collections, the order that the game shows the games in is Kingdom Hearts 1, then Chain of Memories, then Days. So the collection even tells you the order of what they recommend you play in.
Back in the day, I just had to watch the PS2 version on YouTube.
The recommended order by the developers and me as well is Kingdom Hearts 1, Chain of Memories, Days, Kingdom Hearts 2, Birth by Sleep. I would personally skip Recoded because Recoded is pointless, but sure, play Recorded after Birth by Sleep.
Remember, Pedro, we have to establish what was in Jiminy's diary.
Was that one of the ones where they just took out the game and made it a movie?
No.
Yes.
True. Technically, yeah. Recorded was made into a movie in the collections. Yes.
Well, you see, Pedro. The thing is, I'm one of those Mavericks that doesn't do the recommended order. I mean, I've been recording FIFA 19, The Journey, and the story does give you recommended. They do recommend what character you should play as for a certain part of the story. But I'm like, you know what? No, fuck it. I'm just gonna go bounce back and forth between the three.
No, that's the sad part, Shior. The sad part about Recoded is that Recoded is a good game because of its gameplay, not because of its story. Because the gameplay of Recoded is actually pretty good. It's a very fun game.
But can you sum up the whole of Kingdom Hearts with that now at this point?
Well, that depends on who you ask, Twibs. I actually really like the story of Days. Then I prefer it much better over the gameplay.
I think I still own Days. I'll have to check.
You know what's weird is like, well, Days came out quite a bit after Kingdom Hearts 2. In fact, if I recall,
3 years later.
Days also, in fact, didn't Days come out after like Birth by Sleep as well?
No, a year before for Birth by Sleep actually. Because remember, Days was made by hand. It wasn't made by the Osaka team because the Osaka team was busy with Birth by Sleep.
It's funny because nowadays people and even Square themselves recommend you play Days before going to 2. Ironically,
to be fair,
being made after 2.
Well, to be fair, Days was the one released after 2. So, yeah.
Oh no. Exactly. My point is like, well, it just shows that nowadays it's recommended that you play Days before 2. And to be fair, I personally do agree.
No, I agree as well. It gives Kingdom Hearts 2's a lot of Kingdom Hearts 2 stuff, specifically the Axel Roxas scenes, a lot better context that makes them all the more poignant. At least to me, it does. Like for example, we finally get to see the full context of that scene from Kingdom Hearts 2, where actually like you're really leaving. Why the Keyblade chose me? I need to know. So we finally get full context of why Roxas left the organization. So it's always nice to get that specific context. Again, I'm a big fan of slow burn Japanese style storytelling. The kind of storytelling where it's kind of like why I also here to give a Western example, because I actually find that style of that movie very Japanese. The first Deathly Hallows movie, because I find the style of Deathly Hallows Part 1 very Japanesey in the way it's written, of sorts. I don't know how it is in the book, but so let me just focus on the movie specifically. The movie, if you want to talk about plot progression per se, yeah, there's not that much of it, but in terms of character development, holy cow, there's so much character development in that movie. Like it's an incredibly strong character-driven movie. You know, like where we just see the characters being themselves and talking about their feelings and expressing themselves and just learning. Like Ron finally overcomes his insecurities. It's one of those cases where I'm okay with slow plot progression if the character development is there to do the heavy lifting for it. Oh, here we go. Hold on, Shiro, it's Alice. Sorry, Shiro, I have to kill Alice.
Oh,
no, I'm not kidding. This dog is called Alice. Sorry, Shiro. The game forced me.
Oh boy! Wait for it. Wait.
Oh, is this the one where they show you?
No, that's later, Shiro. That's for later. Later on, Shiro, you're gonna be able to pet this dog.
Yeah, I heard we get to see her run around and just be so happy.
No, not just that, Shiro. We get to play. Not just that, Shiro. We get to play fetch with Alice.
Now, on the one hand, here's part of the problem: the way the dog was killed is so nonchalant here, and I get I get it. They're trying to say, oh, just because this person was killed nonchalantly doesn't mean that they didn't matter. Like I said before, I get it. Yes, someone can get killed nonchalantly in real life, and there won't be much big fanfare. That said, you are essentially playing God with this narrative, so by all means, it's technically up to you. I'll just say this. It's like with comic superheroes. If you're gonna give them a death, give them a really good death that actually does matter in the long run.
Look at that, guys. We found Owen's thing. And yes, turns out Abby and her friends are ex-Fireflies. There you go. So there you go.
Can I have a time real quick? Sorry.
15:33, 34, 45. Go to 15:50 or something.
Yep, I'm there.
Okay then. No, don't worry. I'm reading the journal, but it only says Owen Moore, so you're fine. All right, get ready and click. There you go. You're fine. You're fine.
But yeah, get it? Abby and company were ex-Fireflies.
Which should give you an idea of why they killed Joel, basically.
Which is...
All right, here we go.
Okay.
And now the rest of this part is nothing but cutscenes.
Oh, great.
Oh, boy.
I'm not fucking going there.
Then don't. Go back.
Fuck you. Hands up. Where's Abby?
You're that girl from Jackson.
Tell me where she went. How do we know you won't kill us?
Give her what she wants and we're dead.
You guys can survive this. I just need her.
Bullshit.
Sad when Owen is being the most intelligent person in this scene. But yeah, like you said yourself, Joe. Yeah, he's kind of spineless. Yeah.
Oh, especially when it comes to Abby's campaign.
Yeah.
This was the 80s, and there'd probably be lines like, "If you don't do what I say, I'll shoot your male friend there in the balls."
So yeah, she's gonna apply Joel. She's gonna apply Joel's torture trick. She's gonna have Mel put it on the map, and it better be the same spot that Owen points to. The problem is, Ellie, Owen can see where she's pointing to from his angle. You might wanna, yeah.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh no, Owen! See, even in the cutscenes they do it. See, even in the cutscenes.
So again, here's the problem. These kills were strictly self-defense on Ellie's part. Sure, Ellie made the first move, but these people were trying to aim to kill her.
All right. Now we're gonna get. Okay, see if you can hear what Owen's saying here, because it's hard to hear.
Point a gun at the woman with the knife in her neck.
Hold on.
I can't tell you now. You stuck a knife.
Like even the subtitles say inaudible.
Ellie,
That's the thing.
Moron.
That
he might have tried to tell you, but you stuck a knife in his throat.
That's the thing, Shiroi. If you pay attention, that's the thing, Shiroi. The subtitles say, "Oh, dun, Mel was pregnant."
Now, just a reminder, Mel did come with Abby on her own accord despite being pregnant. That said, remember that Ellie here does have regrets after figuring out that she killed a pregnant woman.
Ellie, all of those hundreds of women you killed throughout this game, some of them could have been pregnant too, even if they were invisibly noticeable. Just saying.
Hey, Tommy. Now, okay, to her credit, it's only after she confirmed it, but okay, I get it, Now, Ellie does have regrets here and there. That said, though, wasn't this woman still involved with kills? So
okay, so
here's my...
Hold on, Dibs. There you go. See, Ellie is a moron. She left her map with all her notes in that. Yeah, I'm sure Abby will not be able to track where you are thanks to that map. Good job, Ellie.
All
Good
right,
job.
So now we've got a triple idiot moment. Elliot demanding answers from the guy to tell her where Abby is. But before he can answer, she sticks a knife in his throat, so now he can't say anything because you stabbed his voice box, you bloody idiot.
I have to ask.
The person she killed being pregnant for emotional manipulation, and her leaving a map behind.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, to be fair, Dibs, you're a bit mistaken. She shot Owen in the chest, mind you. She didn't stab him in the neck. No. She just stabbed Mel in the neck.
No,
she
it was
didn't actually.
afterwards. It was
No, that was
afterwards.
afterwards. She said, tell me where he is. Tell me where she is. And then she stabbed him in the neck, and then what he was trying to say was inaudible. So for all you know,
That's the thing, Dibs.
You might have been trying to say anything. But
That's the thing, Dibs. I was about to say, if you pay attention to that scene, feel free to hear it again closely after this. You can actually understand if you pay attention closely that he's saying she's pregnant. So he was trying to warn Ellie that she's pregnant, basically. That's the interesting thing. They say it's inaudible, but you can actually hear it if you pay close attention. Go ahead.
Now, here's the main problem with that death scene trying to supposedly be a combination of Ellie's sins. It was self-defense. Yeah, she had them cornered, but they were trying to kill her still. Hell, Mel is, well, like Dina, Mel's a dumbass for getting herself involved when she knew she was pregnant. I mean, at least you could say with Dina that she wasn't sure. No, Mel knew for sure she was pregnant. And even worse, trying to charge Ellie while she was pregnant. If Ellie didn't do anything, she would have been dead.
But Jova, she's pregnant. That's literally the only thing
I have to say, of the two pregnant characters we've seen so far, the one who literally yelled, "I'm pregnant," is not the person who should have yelled that.
I know, right?
Exactly.
I mean, Ellie might not have believed
Okay.
it, but
I want to point this out.
Easily been checked.
I want to point this out for later because it's going to be important for a point I'm going to make about 10 parts from now. So we kill her friends, but she gets to live. But we need to be okay with that because Dina can stay here. She has to bring brought back to Jackson.
It has to be.
So there you go. Allie was actually willing to end it here. So keep that in mind for 10 parts from now.
Like I said, just remember that so far most of the kills she's done are in self-defense. Stuff that she had to do. Yeah, you could argue that, her going after vengeance led to it still, but it's really hard to place the blame on someone who did what they did for self-defense. It's and maybe you could argue, she didn't have to take it that far. Actually, no, she kind of did, seeing as how she was being charged lethally. So it was literally a kill or be killed scenario.
I also would like to ask, okay, Dina's pregnancy must be must have some seriously complicated and dangerous, complication of some sort because it's not normal for her to be like this already. There's clearly something wrong with her body. She really needs to be checked by a doctor.
Well, that's the thing, Pedro. Half of
I want to point this out.
Dead.
I get your point, Dibs. I get your point.
Thanks for coming back for me.
It's in here. I want to point this out. Good job.
You're such a sad.
Yeah, how dare you care for people?
I think she's more so just joking. It's just
I know
she's
it's
not
just
able to express it on her face because things are a little tense right now.
I know it's just that I just think she could have worded that better.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh, Jesse's dead.
Jesse's dead.
Oh,
You see what I mean? The game just moves on. There you go. Jesse died, but it's not like that's important, so whatever.
the one character. Yeah, fuck it.
Stop!
Let me guess. She shoots him anyway.
Ellie, you have a gun. You could have shoot her.
Toss your weapon.
Shoot her.
Yeah, but she's got her friend at gunpoint though. I mean, but then again, who's to say she's not going to shoot him anyway?
Exactly. What Wizard said.
He did what he did to save me. There's no cure.
Guys, Jesse's dead. Can we at the very least? No. Okay.
Let him go. You killed my friends.
And you killed her father figure.
And you wasted it.
All right, everybody. So What's
Yeah,
so? Okay, Dibs.
One thing I want to mention before you ask, Pedro, is that I saw some behind this. On the subject of you guys were, at least one of you guys were a bit confused on fuck, I forgot her name now. She was such
Laura Bailey.
Oh, Mel?
No, her character, Abby.
Abby.
A lot of you are confused on. You're confused on how Abby's body could be a thing. Well, I've seen some behind the scenes.
Oh, okay. I think go ahead.
And the body double and her body model that they use.
She's Abby to a T. Yes, she
is Abby to a T. So yes, that kind of body can be a real thing.
That's the thing. I saw that picture too. That's the thing. I saw that picture too. The problem is our arms don't look the same still, though. That's the problem.
They do.
I don't know. It just didn't seem.
Nah, I'm with Pedro on this. It looks weird.
Again, I have no problem with it. By all means, like it's just that. I
wouldn't.
Okay, let me put it like this.
Fuss about it, but like I said, even female bodybuilders themselves have raised.
But she is a bodybuilder and she looks like that. So either those people are lying or they don't know as much as they're talking about as they think they do.
I don't even. Whatever. But yeah, Jesse's dead. Not that the game cares about it, as you guys just saw. So
What were you going to ask, Pedro?
Basically, Dwibs, place your bets. Who's gonna win, Abby or Ellie?
Neither.
Sure. Shirley, what do you think? Who's gonna?
It's gonna be Abby because she's Neil's favorite child.
Yeah, exactly. Good job, Shirley. Okay, guys. So I know that you guys in the audience are probably thinking, "Oh boy, at least we get an exciting boss battle now." Well, that's funny story. Basically, guys, we're going to interrupt the story now and jump back 4 years into the past so we can see everything from Abby's perspective. Meaning, right now, we're going to stop the plot in the middle of a fucking confrontation between the two main protagonists. But we're going to now stop for 15 hours just so we can see the entire thing from Abby's perspective. And only then, when Abby's campaign catches up to this moment, then we finally get a chance to see what happens after this.
And now, ladies and
because that's good. Because that's how you do good pacing, according to David Cage, I guess.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, this is where the real pacing problems come into play.
Basically, guys, we're going to now be waiting 15 hours to see how that confrontation ends up.
And let me put it like this. At this point in the game, by the time we got back to that confrontation, I had kind of just stopped caring about how that confrontation was going to end.
It's one of those guys. Okay, fine, whatever. You want to say... okay, you know what, here, just to end this discussion once and for all right here, so because this discussion is pointless anyway, I don't care, just to put this completely out of the way, regardless of whether or not Abby's body is possible, I don't care. It's more so a fact that I still find it inconsistent that she looks buff and everybody else who works at the same gym as her doesn't look buff. That's my problem, because it reeks of favoritism on part of the developers. Because, okay, you want to make Abby buff? Cool. How about we make Manny buff too? Because Manny is not buff. Owen is not buff. None of the guys in the gym that we're going to see in the next part are buff. So, weird. Whatever. The point is, basically everybody, apparently Neil Druckmann has decided to go full David Cage on us. And now we're going to completely go back. And spend 15 hours with Abby before we can see what happens at the theater. So, Dwibs, what's your thoughts on this incredibly brave choice on pacing on part of Neil?
Well, it's like you've mentioned before, and I think I might have said it once or twice. I can't remember. Sometimes non-linear storytelling can work.
Sure.
I'm willing to bet this is one of the cases that don't.
Sure. Well, okay. Well, okay. Non-linear storytelling, of course it can work. Tarantino practically has his own subgenre of that. Yeah. And more often than not, it works.
Yeah, I've seen Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
There's also Memento as well. There's a lot of... go ahead.
I can't believe how many times we've had to compare this to David Cage, but This is outright cageism here with how bad the nonlinear storytelling is. And believe it or not, that is still not the worst the pacing is for this game, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
It gets worse and worse.
Well, for as bad as it gets, at least I can say that that there's much more narrative momentum in Abby's campaign, so there will be much more to talk about. So there's that.
Now, twist. Will it be fun stuff or stuff that we enjoy to talk about?
Well, Jova, it depends on the person. Some people would prefer there to be bad narrative momentum than none at all. So it depends on the person's tolerance. So.
Well, I don't really like either equally.
Well, okay, but you have to pick one or the other. Which would you pick? Obviously, the ideal thing would be to have good narrative momentum, but
with good pacing.
Honestly, I'd rather have nothing than something done badly.
Well, that's a cop-out answer, Dwibs. Like, I gave you two options, you picked a third.
Well, that's the thing, Pedro. Both of those answers are equally bad, so I'm just not going to.
Sometimes there's just a nice third, better option in there somewhere.
It's okay.
Yeah, something that the writers of this game should have done, but they didn't.
I think you're failing to realize the point of my question, Dwibs. The point of my question, it was to make a point that everybody has their own preference of which one is the lesser of two evils. Like, I personally would prefer to have bad narrative momentum than no narrative momentum at all, because at the very least, then I would have something to talk about. There's actually stuff happening instead of me just standing there being bored. Whereas some people would prefer the opposite, because at the very least they can sleep it off. So it depends on the... So it depends on the person. Okay, everybody. So tune in next time, everybody, where we find out how much of a noble, misunderstood, wonderful person Abby is.
Where we finally get to the story
This'll be fun.
Dwibs, you'll like Abby. So help me God, you will like Abby.
I don't like Abby. Go away, Neil.
Well, I'm going to make you like her. I'm going to make you spend her 15 hours with her and make you beg me.
If future Naughty Dog games end up doing this, I'm dreading the future of that studio.
I'm already doing that.
Neil's still in charge.
All right, everybody, go ahead and let's just see you for the next part, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.